So in Qatar?
In Qatar.
Oh, okay.
In Qatar. Wasn't it his tradition who stopped President Nkrumah from uniting Africa? Wasn't his tradition part of it?
How's that relevant to today?
Very relevant. And I'm going to read you an abstract. This abstract is by Henry Kamkar, University of Bui, Cameroon. And what is he doing? He is, the topic of his extract is Africa must unite, vindicating Kwame Nkrumah and uniting Africa against global destruction. If you permit me, let me read just a little bit. He says, over 50 years ago, the prophetic Kwame Nkrumah called for and wrote a book titled Africa Must Unite. Many self-seeking African leaders described him as a dreamer of impossibility. A few decades after this clarion call, some European countries created the European Union, EU, for their greater unity, collective benefit, and for providing global leadership. Since then, American and Asian states have also come together. Challenges notwithstanding, Africa is yet to make any meaningful progress towards a union government in spite of public acknowledgement of its need by some of its leaders. The foot-dragging approach in the unification of Africa has given rise to rapid westernization in the guise of globalization to squeeze the hell out of the continent.
What's your point with reading
My
this?
point is that it is not original. President Akufo-Addo shouldn't go and stand on the world stage and say the things he's saying. He should practice it. He should practice it. So a government comes and builds a sugar factory. And he builds a sugar factory because of the pharmaceutical industry. You don't come and bastardize it. You continue and make it work. You continue and make it work. Did that happen? Did that happen? My brother is talking about the Kumfi juice. A Kumfi juice today have foreign orders. They are having to stop Ghanaian production, domestic production, to satisfy those foreign orders.
But that's for exports.
So they should stop domestic.
No, I thought that helps with balance of payments.
Well, please. I'm saying they should stop domestic. Is that what he's saying? Because they can't cater for domestic orders.
Market.
They should stop it and do the foreign. I'm not saying they shouldn't do the foreign. But if you've given them the wherewithal to be able to satisfy both domestic and foreign, will that not help? So what's President Akufo-Addo telling us? What is new under the sun? Free education. Was it original from President Akufo-Addo? That the MPP jumps to hell and high water that is brought free education. Was it original? Who started free education?
Well, President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud were tagged in senior high school.
Who started free education?
Kwame Nkrumah started free education. It's always been.
And did you see how he did it?
It's in the constitution.
Look,
if you look
one
at
thing about President Akufo-Addo is that he will say these things. He does not know how to do it. That's his problem.
Well, you cannot make these statements of the president.
Why can I not make this statement of the president?
What did just make a statement that the president says the things and he doesn't.
What did the IMF say about free education?
Well,
what did they say about free education? He might say these nice things. He might be copying others, but he does not know how to do it, unfortunately. Why should we find ourselves where we are today? Why? Tell me. With all the natural resources we have in this country, why should we be where we are today?
Mr. Jantuah, why are you glossing over the impact of COVID-19 and then the Russia-Ukraine war? Because these are two big points that the president, alongside the finance minister, and even accepted partly in that same document that you have. I also have here.
Let me read.
Please read it for me.
Let me read. The impact,
which page are you reading?
I'm reading page 4.
Okay.
The compounded effects of large external shocks and pre-existing vulnerabilities having caused a deep economic and financial crisis. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, tightening global financial conditions, and Russia's war in Ukraine have what? What's the word there? What's the word there? Are you reading it?
Yes, please go ahead.
What's the word? No,
you are reading it.
No, I want you to mention the word. What's the word there?
No, you go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
I beg you. Mention the word.
Go ahead.
No, you asked me for the word.
We are not doing dictation here.
Exacerbated. What does exacerbated mean?
To compound.
Wasn't there a certain challenge there before COVID and what do you call it?
Yes,
Ukraine
yeah,
came?
the IMF recognized.
And if that was it, what was the problem? We had a weak economy. We had a weak economy, and they were compounding it, telling us, being economical with the truth as to the strength of the economy. Oh, the economy was doing good. The economy is doing this. Oh, everything is well. One, external shock. What happened? And this document, when you go deeper into it, you see the realities of what we should have done that we didn't do. So what are we talking about? The President Akufo-Addo goes and stands on the world stage and says we should unite, and we are clapping. Does he understand what it means by Africa Unite? Does he understand it?
Why doesn't
Does he know what it means?
Why doesn't he?
If he knew what it meant, he would start with our cocoa. He will start with our cocoa. He will start with our gold. He will start with our bauxite. He will start with our manganese by telling any foreign company that comes into this country to invest, you've got to be able to establish industries here. You've got to be able to refine your gold here. That's the starting point.
Well, the government said the starting point is one district, one factory. What
has one district, one factory done? Tell me.
Well, they are in existence.
Tell me what has one district, one factory done? I'm from the Nkrumah's tradition. Compare Nkrumah's factories to President Akufo-Addo's one district, one factory. Did we not have a nail factory in this country? Did we not have a matches factory in this country?
Glass.
Did we not have a glass factory in this country?
Tie.
Did we not have a tie factory in this country? Wasn't it working? Did we not have a clay factory in this country? Was it not working?
Limestone.
Was it not working? Were people not employed? So what are you telling me? That President Akufo-Addo has said what? He might say these things, he does not know how to execute them.
I don't understand you.
You will not understand me.
We have a plethora of well-versed individuals who have some of the best experience and academic qualifications, and they are in government.
Everything is leadership. Everything is leadership. Look, TV3, if you don't have a strong leader, you won't be able to do the work you're doing.
Well, that's true.
Yes. So it's leadership. It's the leader who has to direct. And the leader has put certain people in place. And if those people aren't acting, you move them. Has he changed his cabinet since 2016? Has he changed his ministers since 2016? Is it in one person's head?
Wait.
Is it in one person's head?
This is an English
and you're trying to tell me that the people who are there have been there all this while and things are working. Is the country working? Roland, is the country working? Let's be practical. Is the country working? If the country were working, we won't have the kind of employment figures we have. If the country were working, we won't have an education system where you can't employ people who have been to university. If the country was working. And I keep saying, President Akufo-Addo is one man who transcends generations, who should understand generations of my father, generations of the coup time, and now he's one man who could have united this country. Has he done it?
I don't understand you.
Party comes first.
You are saying what, because of his age, he should? I don't.
No, what I'm saying is that I remember President Akufo-Addo, Unigov, he was the youngest amongst the Unigov guys when my father and co were fighting a champon. I know that because it was in my house, my father's house in Asokwa. He was the youngest. And he understood it. So what has changed? He's not become president. What has changed? What has changed in his demeanor? What has changed? These young ones, they went there. We were there. We saw it. We saw some of the things he used to say then. Is he saying it today? You go and stand on the world stage and say, Africa must unite. Show it. Tell your fellow, African leaders. Go to the AU. Has he not scrapped AU holiday? Yesterday, did you hear AU on any media?
Well,
what's the reason?
We marked it with...
I said, what is the reason? I say, President Akufo-Addo, he can say nice things, but he doesn't know how to execute it. Full stop.